and he told me that Pat Portesh had resigned. Unbeknownst to council, we had no idea, and then the next day, Mr. Bates received a resume from someone who was interested, and he had no idea why. So he called Pat Portesh and asked her what was going on, and then so she faxed it over. So we received it. I don't think it's timed, but besides the ink.
She did say she wasn't leaving.
Well, that was my question, is she's saying on the 15th, so I didn't know when the clock started. I'm not disputing, I just want to know when the legal interpretation is.
Her letter here states 15th.
Well, that was what my question really is, when does the
So
clock?
shouldn't this say on here, as of the 15th, when resignation was accepted, not the 8th, and she had it stated?
I don't know, we got to ask the solicitor.
She's telling me today she's resigned.
I think it's in a way, it's a moot point, and I'm not absolutely sure of which one, but in either event, even if it's the 15th as the effective date, that's February 15th, 30 days from then is before your next meeting, so there needs to be a special meeting in any event. And I'll figure it out, and
Well, what we could do is, I think we should change the 9 to 8, and then we just have a comma stating that her effective date would be January 15th.
Or how about pending?
Pardon me?
The motion doesn't give a date.
Well, I'm just saying add that she in her letter says she's resigning effective. Her effective date is January 15th, not ours.
Oh, you're only saying,
Right.
you're only saying her letter received on.
Right.
That's all. Not the date.
We don't have an effective date in the motion.
No.
Right.
So Barbara can look into that.
you're literally just accepting the resignation.
That we got.
It is 2 issues.
You're making that, you're recognizing that the exception of the resignation.
I'm sorry, but there's an awful lot of noise from the audience. It's really hard to even hear next to each other here.
Well, I was just saying, so it's clearly two issues, the way I'm understanding. The motion really is to recognize the resignation. As far as the appointment, that's not in this motion, and that's something obviously council has to take care of
Correct.
for the 30 days.
And we'll find out what that 30 days is.
That makes sense.
So,
In an expedient manner, right, Mrs. Chairman?
yes, well, legally,
Yes.
do it. So, if I can go back to 10F, it's a motion to accept the resignation of elected tax collector Patricia Portesh for her letter received January 8th, 2015. May I have a motion
So moved.
and a second? Second. Questions or comments? Are there any more questions or comments on this motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Next, we have 10G. It's a motion to approve writing a letter of support to Bob White, Executive Director of the Bucks County Redevelopment Authority, for their application to the Department of Community and Economic Development for the Industrial Site Reuse Program Assessment Grant for the former Lehigh Rubber property in downtown Morrisville.
So moved.
Second. That was Fred and Corinne. Questions or comments on the motion?
Yeah, my question is, and it's kind of a two-part here. It's very nice to see Bob White taking an interest and working on redevelopment in our community. I think everyone would agree to that. I'm just curious, maybe someone has more information on what he's trying to do. Is there any type of plan or anything that you don't know about? I mean, he's asking for a grant, but what's the plan? What's going on?
The grant is to remediate, because it's a, I don't want to say it's a brownfield though, but it's just for remediation. I don't know, he mentioned that he has not a buyer, because they own it, but he has someone that's interested in the site, but we don't have any details on that. But this grant is for him to be able to go in and clean up.
So, for example, if there was asbestos, this is to do
Correct.
that. I'm not saying there's asbestos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I know Mr. White likes to say there's always an interested parties, but we don't really know anywhere in that.
No. The interested party is the RDA. So, and there's a copy of that letter in your packet. I think,
Yeah, that's why I was just wondering if there was more information.
no, not at this time. All right, Fred and Corinne, first and second. Questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Next we have motion, it's 10H. Motion to approve a resolution opposing a proposed hazardous waste treatment facility in Keystone Industrial Park Complex in Falls Township, Bucks County, PA. May I have a motion? All right. Second. I'll ask a second time. May I have a motion? May I have a motion? Okay. It's off the table. Next is a 10I, it's appointments, one for the zoning hearing board, one 3-year appointment to expire on 1/2/18. Steve Schmeltzer's term expired on January 2nd, 2015. He's an incumbent, and he has showed interest and has written a letter. That's just an FYI, but I'll ask for nominations, please, for the zoning hearing board, one 3-year appointment. May I have a nomination?
I'll nominate Steve Schmelzer.
Thank you. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay. The zoning hearing board, one 3-year appointment to appoint Steve Schmelzer. His term to expire on 1/2/18. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Cicero.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Chronicle.
Yes.
Mr. Parker.
Abstain.
Mr. Sanford.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Kerner.
Yes.
And Ms. Sherlock.
Yes. Motion carries 7-0 with one abstention. Next, we have Environmental Advisory Council, one 3-year appointment to expire on 12/19/17. Nicole Rahman, her term expired December 19, 2014. She's interested, has sent in a letter, and that's just an FYI. So may I have a nomination for this particular position, please?
I'll nominate Nicole Rahman.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? All right, I have a motion to appoint Nicole Rahman to the Environmental Advisory Council Board, one 3-year appointment to expire 12/19/17. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Cicero.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Chronicle.
Yes.
Mr. Parker.
Yes.
Mr. Sanford.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Kerner.
Yes.
And Ms. Sherlock.
Yes. Motion carries 8-0. May I ask who nominated Mr. Smeltzer, please?
I did.
Is that Fred?
I'm sorry, Fred did.
Who did? I'm sorry?
Fred, there are a lot of eyes out here.
Okay. Next, we have a municipal authority appointment. It's a 1 5-year appointment to expire on 1/5/20. And also an FYI, Victor Cicero's term expired on January 5th, 2015, and he has also sent a letter of interest. And are there any nominations?
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Victor Cicero.
Are there any other nominations?
There's a letter for another person requesting a position, and his name is David Ruste. I'd like to nominate him.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Okay. As for roll call, and your name is called, please, it's either Vic Cicero or Ruste, or Ruste, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Cicero.
Cicero.
Okay, Mr. Johnson.
Victor Cicero.
Ms. Chronicle.
Victor Cicero.
Mr. Parker.
David Ruste, since I nominated him.
Okay, Mr. Sanford.
Victor Cicero.
Ms. Smith.
Vic Cicero.
Mr. Kerner.
Victor Cicero.
Ms. Sherlock.
Victor Cicero. Victor Cicero, 7-1. All right, actually, that's all I have for business, unless I forgot something.
I would like to add a motion under new business.
I'll listen to it, Ted, but you know what?
So-
Go ahead.
Is it procedurally correct? Under new business?
No, but it's always nice to have it ahead of time.
That's good, I can say.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman, let's have a little order in the chambers, please.
Before we're making the motion, Ted.
I would just
Sorry
like
to-
to public comment.
Okay, so go ahead, what's the motion?
The motion requests council to reinstate agenda meetings, also known as special meetings, to set the agenda beginning in the month of February 2015, at least 1 week prior to the business meeting.
Did you write that all down, because I didn't write it as fast?
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Okay, all right, so, the, motion is to reinstate agenda meetings. And then I got the first of February.
Motion is to reinstate agenda meetings, also known as special meetings, to set the agenda beginning in February 2015. It was at least 1 week prior to the business meeting.
I would change that just to say special meetings also.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure. I didn't have time to do the complete research. I believe they were known as special meetings to set the agenda for legal reasons.
They used to be agenda meetings for Borough groups.
Yeah.
Everything's a special meeting.
So then it would be to set special meetings to set the agenda.
So to reinstate special meetings,
To set the agenda beginning in February 2015, at least 1 week prior to the business meeting.
okay, you have a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Is that Debbie?
Yep.
Okay. Questions or comments on the motion?
You have to open it up.
Yes. That's right. Anyone wish to come forward with regards to this motion?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I wasn't gonna speak tonight, but I'll get one. Bill Farrell, 341. Is this off?
Yes.
Certainly off. I didn't turn it off. You got it off in the back?
On the mic.
Turn the mic on.
Where's your button?
No, it's the side.
Oh,
You
here.
got it, got it.
That's what you're here for. I didn't turn it on. Oh, wait a minute.
It works.
What?
It works.
It wasn't working before. Mr. Parker, I'm all for it. I come here, I don't see anything on the website for what's going on. Like I walked in tonight, there was 3 items on there I never saw. You told me it was on the website? Are you telling me your agenda's on the website? Yes or no?
Yes.
What's
It's
it on?
posted.
Morrisville.com? Government.com?
Yes.
I've been looking, I
We only
can't.
have one website. Morrisville Borough only has one website.
What's it called?
MorrisvillePAGov.com.
You have to
Right.
click on Borough News.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you have to click on
Statements out there.
I have to click on Borough News, is that what it is?
Yes, that's why.
Fabulous. I wish people would tell me. I'm not a computer whiz, but I go on there, I get to see the meetings are on there, so I must be doing partially right. But so I have to look for the news, and the agenda will be there?
Yes.
How long's it been there?
6 months, 9 months?
No, you mean this agenda, right, for tonight's meeting? Is that
For any meeting?
You want to know when it's first posted, is what you're asking?
Huh?
You want to know when it's posted
Yeah.
for the
when-
meeting?
I hope it's not posted,
Posting the agendas online.
it's not posted Friday before.
No, he said what day.
What day do you post it? Friday before? If that's the case, I should become a borough councilman, then I could look like a fool with no information. That should be posted at least a good week before. Like Mr. Parker said, you should have a meeting a week before. If you don't put on a week before, I come in tonight and I saw 3 items. I had no clue what's going on. And I like to be prepared.
So do we.
Excuse me?
So do we.
And happy days are here. But, so I think it would be a good idea, because at least you could get all this crazy stuff that goes on when you, a lot of you people come in Friday and you get your packet, and you got the weekend to look at it. That's ridiculous. But I don't know how it's going to go. And if, Mr. Parker, I hate to tell you, if you put that to the vote tonight, the Chicago 5 is back. 5-3, thank you.
Next, please.
Jack Buckley, 617 Rutland Road. I'd like to say that having an agenda session is something that we always had when I was on council. And it's a good thing because some of these problems you're having with getting these pop-in things put into the agenda would not be if you had a meeting a week before and had that. Now, and also the public would have some idea what's going on. Hopefully you would broadcast those meetings too. And for example, this discussion about the controller, many years ago I suggested you do away with the position of controller like Bristol Borough did. I don't know why you even had a discussion of bringing the guy's salary down to 0. Seems crazy to me.
Thank you, Ms. Buckman. Kitty Westrope, 636 Osborne.
I think it's really important to have the agenda meetings, and I think it would also be helpful if you could post the agenda on the government channels so people can see that. I know that, you know, it does get posted on Facebook, like other people who get it and download it and post it over there. But also if you put one on your website, if you can make a link that's called council meeting agendas, it would be easier for people to find versus under news, because people really don't look under news. So if you can make it a little bit easier for people to see, but I really do think you need to bring back the agenda meetings. Thank you.
Eileen Dreisbach, 75 Harrison Avenue. I just want to say that I know for a fact this has been brought up as a motion several times in the past couple of years, and it's always been voted down because a lot of people don't want to come to 2 meetings a month. Well, all I can say is shame on you if you don't want to come. This is part of your job. You need to come in here. You need to discuss issues before they're put on the agenda, or if they're put on the agenda, and discuss them before you come to the regular meeting to vote on them. And remember, elections coming up, and these chairs suck.
Thank you.
Oh, boy.
Hear that, George?
Hear that, George?
Hear that, George?
Hear that, George?
Okay, all right. Order, please.
Hi, Marlene Burns, 118 Green Street. I'd like to make a suggestion for this evening, one in which that you review your Gov page, your Morrisville Gov page, and possibly do a rework of it. It's very, very hard to maneuver. The information is not easily found. It's not current. If you would take into consideration and maybe possibly looking for a volunteer from the community that might help do it, that would save the borough some money. But the website is very, very outdated and could really use an upgrade. So I'd like you to consider that.
Thank you.
I'd like to weigh in if I may.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't.
No, it's all right. That's a mistake. Not breaking it. Holly Harmon, Pennsylvania Avenue. Ted, thank you. We've been praying for this for I don't know how long, so I'm really glad that you stepped up and brought this up. Thank you.
Anyone else from the public to speak? So the motion is to reinstate special meetings to set the agenda beginning in February 2015, at least 1 week prior to the business meeting. Can we say regular meeting? Would you mind?
Well, yeah, that's what we legally call it. Yeah.
Called regular.
So that's not on the same schedule we used to be on.
I'm sorry?
We only had 6 days between the agenda and the regular before, right?
Do it on
It was
Tuesday.
Tuesday and Monday.
He's saying at
It's a
least
Tuesday and a
1 week.
Monday.
He's saying at least 1 week.
And all I'm saying is it's not the same day.
It wasn't before on Tuesdays?
Yeah, Tuesday, third Monday.
Well, if we have agenda meetings, are we allowed to add to the agenda, or is that it? That's a set agenda, correct? So we can add to it.
Special meeting is set the agenda.
I'd like to also comment that very oftentimes, we will have, in the administration, we'll find out on Friday that there'll be 2 or 3 things put on. So to post it too early is not current information. So then you're also lambasted, we're lambasted because, where did these come from? So just want to mention that. Sorry, any other questions? Oh, you wanted to weigh in. Go ahead.
Yeah, I certainly wanted to weigh in.
Microphone, Dave.
There, that's better. Back in 2011, when I became the council president, council already was at a point where it had to cut the agenda meetings. They were agenda meetings back then. And as the president, I did continue that practice. I thought it was, at the time, it made sense. It saved taxpayers money. And this wasn't the reason, but they were, because Corinne was asking, they were a little bit more informal. They were usually fairly quick meetings. But I can tell you, when I was the president too, I did my best with the help of Dorothy Gadula. Anything that came in went out immediately. I didn't sit on anything, and I thought it was a pretty smooth year as far as that respect goes. But like I had said at the end of the year, I think some things have changed over the past year, and I've sent some memos to the council members regarding it. And I think if it's going to make the difference between the elected officials getting the information in a more timely manner, as I said it tonight, I kept saying when these emails were written and how long it took to get to us. And if that's what's going to make the difference to get the information, then I think it's a good idea. That's where I sit.
Okay.
Does everyone have to be here for our special meetings?
No. Do you need a quorum?
You need a quorum.
But I mean, outside of our elected officials, does the attorney need to be here?
Yes.
That's up to council.
It's a meeting.
But I would recommend it because it's a meeting.
Absolutely. If we have some issues that things aren't getting out where, in a timely manner, and I know there's some comments that you've been out of the loop in one way or the other, but I will tell you that just using last weekend's comment, Dave, no one knew anything yet. I said it was going out in the Friday packet. This was Thursday. So we could probably try to do a little bit better getting them out sooner, but again, I have to go back without blasting any of our employees. I want people to remember who ran this borough for many, many years, and that person is not here anymore. It is still, we are still in transition. We really are. I'm sorry.
I really don't think that merits too much weight because it's been several years since Dottie's been gone. This isn't a year of transition, it's been several years.
Several. Also, since you're saying that, Nancy, I gotta say something, and I love Dorothy Gadula. She was a wonderful employee here, she was a great person to work with, but she's on the bill list because she's getting paid help, probably with the budget. Again, your borough manager's been here, what, 2010? And she's still coming into a budget? That's past transition time.
Let me tell you something. She didn't do the budget last year when you said she did.
Yeah,
And she didn't do the budget this year.
What's she on the bill list?
She helps the treasurer. She doesn't help the borough manager.
Okay.
Stop saying that.
Okay, so.
Now, I'd like an
But
apology.
you said, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Bates. I want my apology in writing on that.
I'd like mine
okay?
too.
Okay, make sure it's in the minutes. Can you hear me? What I'm saying is,
I'm going to say you made a comment.
still on the bill list, so obviously, well, we're still transitioning, really.
The transition I'm talking about is day-to-day operations.
This is not, this motion wasn't to dispute whether or not we were getting things on time. It's the ability to discuss what's being set for the agenda prior to the business meeting, to tweak it, to remove things, to table things, to make things run smoothly. If the agenda meeting, if everybody puts their heart into the agenda meeting and does what it's intended to do, it will make things go smoother. And if down the road there comes a time that it's not needed, then we stop having them. But we need them now. I feel we need them.
Why do we not have people responding when we send out memos? Please respond. Why do we have people not responding about the minutes until the night of? I'm sorry.
You've got to be kidding me. I've been complaining about that for a year.
All right?
You don't respond to me. That's why I can't. You have to say that.
Yes, please.
Mr. Cicero.
What is this for?
This is a motion to reinstate special
What are
meetings.
all these side comments here? No.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Chronicle.
Yes.
Mr. Parker.
Yes.
Mr. Sanford.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Kerner.
Yes.
Ms. Sherlock.
No. So you'll be happy to know that the five's not back there, Mr. Farrell. Chicago 5.
Maybe a couple of them woke up, Ms. Sherlock.
Maybe they've always been awake.
Okay.
Maybe they weren't here in the past and saw the agenda meetings that went on here.
So, when
The
do we
motion
settle,
carries 6-2.
when do we settle on when that meeting will be? I would just use it as a special meeting to appoint a new tax collector?
No, we have to do that before. I'm suggesting that we have a special meeting on February 4th.
That can still count as our agenda meeting. It's still a week before,
Sure.
if that's gonna save on fees for people being here.
It will be, the next meeting is, so it's almost 2 weeks.
That's fine, it's still a meeting in between.
Next meeting is the 16th.
Right. So,
As a starting point, I'm fine with it. I have no issue.
We might not need them every month.
no, wait a minute, no. The motion is that we're reinstating them every month. You just voted to have them every month. So, unless you
We
want
can
to
show up and
rescind it
adjourn.
next month.
Fine, if you don't want to show up.
All right, so, that was 10K. So, just, I have a couple of, anything else regarding that? I have a couple of announcements, and then we'll move on for borough officials. We have the annual conference coming up on April 26th through 29th. I'm not sure if anyone has any intentions of going to the annual PSAB conference. Anyone? No? All right, well, I only ask, it's April 26th to the 29th. If we sign up by March 31st, we get the discount. So I would encourage any councilman that wishes to go to please let Virginia know as soon as possible. We still have some chairs for sale. We sold 20 today. We have another 15 going tomorrow. They're $1 a piece. So I encourage people to buy the chairs. And then one thing we do have to settle is that we will have to make an appointment to for a tax collector. So did everybody say that the 4th is okay, that Wednesday? Or the Wednesday was thought of because the 7th may or may not be that 30 day.
I believe we have a joint school board.
We don't know for sure. And I'd rather be on the side of caution.
Is that joint school board?
First Wednesday.
First Wednesday, yes. Yeah, we'll make it Tuesday then. There's really a lot of talking in the, it's disturbing, I'm sorry up here.
So Tuesday the 3rd,
Is everybody okay with that?
February 3rd?
Yes. Tuesday. Tuesday the 3rd.
the same time, 7:30?
I don't know. We can have it at any time.
You can have it at 4.
We can have it in the morning if you
Well,
want.
yeah, before people are working.
No, I'm not fully.
You can have it at 30. If you keep them all the same, people will know to come. If you start moving times, people think you do it on purpose to keep them away.
Well, if you had all your agenda meetings at 6 o'clock, then you wouldn't have to work.
Some people can't make it at 6.
People work.
7:30. So we're going to 7:30 then, or 7?
7 o'clock would be better, Mr. Chairman.
7 o'clock.
7.
Of course,
That's
7 o'clock is good?
7's good.
I thought this meeting was at 7.
So,
Sorry.
going forward, these agenda special meetings will be 7 PM, is that it? And the first one will be the 4th, so that's not just.
Third.
Third, I'm sorry. So that will be an agenda meeting, at which time we will also be appointing a tax collector, is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Right.
All right, so that's, all right.
Okay, I got some.
You'll be back just about.
Can I make a comment?
Doesn't matter,
I have these resumes, so I will get them out to council.
yes. I think, I don't know, we might have all received our own copies this evening, there are 2 resumes here on everybody's.
The envelopes, yeah, we all had.
Yes.
Someone else.
Okay.
Okay, let's go straight.
Really?
We're,
I have 3.
Yeah, 3.
Oh, okay.
and we had one came to, in our packet, came to Borough Hall.
Right.
I didn't open
I
it.
have a question. We had one via email. Does that count as official, or does it have to go through?
Came in the Friday package, right?
I mean, would email be enough?
No, somebody emailed
today.
Or does it have to go through Borough Hall and then come to us?
You have to do anything.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to do anything. There's no formal application that you make out.
Okay, so-
Let council know you're interested.
So we have two then, right? One came last week and one just got emailed today, is what you're saying?
Yes.
We didn't get that one, right?
I got mine in an email.
Right.
All right.
Not received.
It was this afternoon.
Right.
Came this afternoon?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, does any more discussion by borough officials?
Just a couple things, just real quick. When the baseball, was here, if you're listening on TV, one of the things that we're working on is trying at some point to do something with Williamson Park. And I've been attending the, MEAC meetings, our environmental advisory, and they've been working really hard on a draft of a map with some ideas to put down there. They're going to be holding some other meetings to bring the public in also. But just so that people will understand when baseball is down there, I think people realize, which I personally didn't, how much field usage that they actually use. But they have made up a map. I would take the opportunity just to put up here so that people can see. Everything that's in pink is a baseball field. Everything. I love baseball, but that's how much of your park is being used for that, as people are saying, what can we do in our park? And like I said, we're all working real hard to figure out how to still keep some of that land for other usage. The black here is parking lot. Here is the pool area. Right here, baseball has actually put in a batting cage alongside of that area, which used to be like a little tot equipment at one time. Down here is the south end that we're trying to do something with, which that storm drain was just, you can see that was redone. But it doesn't leave us a whole lot of land. We have here, the stage is over here, and I do know that baseball has been inquiring through the MAC, just asking different, me personally, I've been asked about also acquiring that pool area. So at some point, hopefully when this meeting takes place with our borough council and them, that they will understand also that, you know, maybe they don't realize that is how much of our park they're actually using. So I just want everyone to actually see that as we're working to work out something with them. Because it's a lot. It's not what it used to be years ago, 20 years ago. And it wasn't meant to be hurtful to do a fee. I don't think everybody realizes that's not what that was actually about. It's a lot of land usage. I don't believe any of the municipality has a park that doesn't have fees as you're using it. And I understand a lot of kids are coming in and using it, and that's great. But then the town has to understand it's either going to be all baseball at one point, or can you do something else, a little bit for everybody else. I personally have gotten complaints that, you know, people have gone down and they've been asked to leave an area that was multi-purpose fields, and so I said I would bring that up. So it's something we have to work out as to how much they're actually using, and whatever this fee thing, maybe there is something needs to be tweaked with it. I don't know. We'll just let everybody know so you can actually see. The pink is how much of your park is being used for that. So, thank you.
And if I could say something too, you know, like, you gotta understand that our borough guys cut that grass every week, and we pay those guys overtime to clean those bathrooms Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, for baseball. So we pay overtime to our borough employees to clean the bathrooms. So, I mean, we have been taking care of baseball for a long, long time and never charged them a penny. So, I mean, all the other townships, when they looked into it, every township, Lower Makefield, Falls, Middletown, every other township charges baseball. So, I mean, you know, I don't think I don't think anybody is against those kids. I just think that, you know, Morrisville, I mean, our budget is very restricted, let me tell you. There's very little money. But we pay all our borough guys, that's another thing too. Bobby just told me all the trash we pick up. They pick up Saturday and Sunday and Monday. There's tons of trash down there, emptying all the trash cans and stuff. Not that they don't, and I'm not gonna say other things that happen down there too. But we take care of all that stuff for them. So, I mean, not that we don't like baseball, we like baseball a lot.
Yeah, if I could just get something clarified now that I'm thinking about it also. People were asking me about how it was worded in our fee schedule with the accredited sports. And some people were saying, oh, is that also, you know, for football? Is it for, almost like, well, is it just baseball that's getting that? It's for any accredited organized sport. If you were able to have soccer down there, right now, you don't have any extra fields for anybody to do anything else down there. But if you did, they would also have to pay a fee. If it was football in an area down there, you would still have to pay the fee. It's not like they're being discriminated against, that it's just them that's going to be paying this. It's not that at all. It's just, you know, for the usage of the field. And another thing I guess I'd like to clarify is, it was asked if it also would be for like the little Bulldogs because they're on the A field. But I said, my interpretation is that's school property, correct? That has nothing to do with that particular. So I thought I would clarify that, because it was like, did they pay also a fee to the borough along with what they paid the school for their usage? Because they also paid to use that field. But I believed, and I said I thought that it would be only our borough-controlled fields.
We have no control over a field.
Okay, just to make everybody understand that.
We're pointing out the fact that it's any sport. It's
Yes.
Accredited, an accredited sports organization.
Right.
And we actually sort of penned that name, that title, from a number of the other, I think it was 7 different communities, or was it 9 possibly,
Right.
that were called to check pricing and what they do and how they do it. And this is the first time it's being done, ever. Okay. Anybody else have anything else?
I do. The Morrisville Ambulance Squad is starting their annual fundraiser that we can also call a membership drive. Donate what you can. I mean, they're very important to us. If they don't exist, which has been a possibility since I've been a member, the wait time for an ambulance will double and sometimes triple if it has to come from an outside area. So I believe it's very important. Give what you can. If you can't give anything now, they have fundraisers throughout the year. They had Santa Claus just recently, you know, if you can come to one of those fundraisers. But it's very important, and you'll be glad they're there when you need them. Thank you.
Yeah, if I may, I'm a little disheartened to see that one of the motions actually died, failed in first and a second. Not so much that the motion died as much as Mr. Seltzer had asked why it was here. So, as you know, Bill, I work with a lot of our surrounding communities, and in this particular case, the mayor of Florence contacted me. Florence actually did take a position, and they sent a little cover letter, they sent their resolution, and I forwarded it to council, because it really, that's the right branch to have council, not the mayor, weigh in on it. And most of the whereases basically said, we're concerned about pollution, we're concerned about drinking water, the Delaware River is important to us. Ms. Sherlock did say it was kind of broad in general, and for the most part it was. My thought was it would have been nice to have a discussion, being they are our neighbors. Whether it passed or failed wasn't my goal, it was just to kind of get some dialogue going. So I'm a little sad that it didn't get discussed, but, and one of the other thing that was important to them was they wanted public comment to continue, and I certainly understand why. And I do hope if you can make the meetings, or at least read the newspaper, stay involved, because it is close, and at this point there's a lot of things that are unknown, and it's an important issue that could affect us. Hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, it's probably gonna affect us in a negative way. Oh, and my other announcement is I wanna wish my wife a happy anniversary. We've spent many birthdays, believe it or not, here in the Elder Chambers. Tonight's our first anniversary. And actually, there's cookies in the back if anyone wants to have a cookie with us after the meeting. So happy anniversary.
Dave, thank you for pointing out about the hazardous waste. Again, it wasn't something that I thought that it could have been passed. There's questions about rail line, what are they bringing in on the rails? How many trucks will come through possibly our town? So it was generic enough, but it's hard to say. Maybe another time.
Could I just say, I also agree, I had sent an email out to everyone that my position was, I had gone to the MEAC meeting, and I have no problem at some point in the future voting this. I just think that we needed a little more information before doing that, and I personally don't have that, so I wasn't comfortable with the wording as to oppose. It wasn't like at this time we opposed because of these issues. So for me, it was just, I was just asking an extension to do it at a later time. I'm not opposed to it. We all need to make sure that, you know, our water and our air and our surrounding areas are safe for everybody. And we don't know how it's being transported in. The facility itself could be top notch and do everything according to what they need to, but it still has to get here. So those are the things that we need to look at. So I didn't want to jump right on and say, yeah, I'm for this and put a vote in that I consciously didn't know enough about. That's just my personal stance on it, but I think we should look into it in the future to do it. But I really think we should all just get more information also. So.
Debbie, I'd like to actually commend you on that statement because, for one, to say you wanted to do more diligence on an election year, the political spin doctors may want to eat you up and say now that you don't like safe drinking water, and I hope they don't attack you, but I believe it's the right thing to do. And quite frankly, that one word, opposed at the top, was the word that bothered me.
Yeah.
But all the whereases, I thought were right on the money.
Yeah, I thought so too. It's just that.
But no one came forward before tonight to say, could we change that, even though I had given you the opportunity to change any phrase. So there was no communication.
You said wait till the meeting is what you sent me the email back.
I did not. I didn't say that.
It's in my email.
Would you like me to read the email? I mean, seriously, I don't have time for that. I really don't. And even if it was the
I have an announcement, the Emergency Services Committee will meet this Thursday at 7:30.
Thank you.
Or 7:30.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Anybody has something in? Who was the second? It's 9:46. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
It was so cold when I first got it done. It was freezing and I came home and it was so nuts. It's different. It'll be different in the summertime.
Getting there. I mean, I got a essential like kitchen bathroom.
But it better be good.
Bedroom together.